Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Simon Wister Show. I've lost count of episode numbers. We don't even do episode numbers. This is probably like around 20.
Yeah,
19,
I'd like to say
18.
21.
No chance.
No, I don't think so.
I was looking at number 17 the other day, and I feel like that was relatively recent.
Oh, well, there you go. There you go.
We did have one episode that didn't go out, and
True.
people were like, Simon, in the first episode, you say like "welcome back."
I saw that.
And I'm like, you've never been anywhere. This is the pilot episode.
The
And I'm like,
unaired pilot.
yeah, no, we have. And people are like, yeah, what? You don't put out the first thing you make? And I'm like, dude, no. Like, there are so many videos that I made of channels that maybe even didn't go anywhere.
Really?
Yeah. And they will
Interesting.
never see the light of day because I have burned them. Not really. I haven't burned them. Sam, you're considering starting a YouTube channel.
I am. Do you know?
Tell me something about that.
So I've been spending time with people such as you that do YouTube, and it's
People such as me. Do you know other YouTubers?
I know the YouTubers through you that I've met. So I've met a couple of YouTubers.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
I've been out for a couple of drinks with you and with,
Of
with
course.
other YouTubers.
Oh, yeah.
And then as we discussed on the previous episode,
I'm just saying, I don't mean, sorry, I'm not intending to call you like, oh, Sam, you liar. I'm the only YouTuber. I just meant like, I knew no one before I did this myself.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's it. I've kind of come into touch with it through you, and then I've doing this singing competition that we were discussing last episode. I've kind of said to myself, right, Sam, you are going to create.
Okay.
I'm desperate to create. I think I'm in a job, like I'm a marketer, you know, I have to deal with data and I have to deal with things like, and I miss the creative process. So I've decided I am going to start a YouTube channel where I'm going to do the A to Z of animals.
The A to Z. What do you mean A to Z? Like going through
everything. Everything. Every species of animal. I want to cover every species.
Dude, what about the really boring animals?
Even the most boring we will
Don't
find.
do the really boring ones.
No, you don't want the boring ones.
Well, let's talk about it. Because you can do... I don't think you should do an A to Z.
I'll do the B to Z.
No, I think you got to find something like interesting about every individual one.
Yeah.
So you can't just be like, okay, we're doing the A to Z of animals. Let's start with Aardvark because, well,
Aardvark's pretty good.
Is it a kids channel?
No, adults channel.
Exactly. So you got to have something like, you know, the mad mating habits of the Aardvark. You got to have a hook. And it can't just be Aardvark.
I think people would watch that.
People would watch that.
The mad mating habits.
I don't even know if it has mad mating habits.
They'd hope that it's something
like,
completely different.
The bizarre behavior of the bee, like, or the incredible venom sac of the kangaroo. This kind of, obviously, I don't know if it has. Right, but
I was going to say, until the kangaroo one, it was just use of alliteration. So I need to use alliteration.
I didn't even mean that. No, that was even just accidental. But I do like bizarre bees. You can use that.
Well, okay, perfect.
I'll take a small credit.
Well, maybe our users can tell us what would you want. What animals do you want to hear about? I mean, get in touch with me on.
It's the
on
concept
Twitter.
of the channel I'm really talking about.
This is Sam
You got to have a
Myers.
hook, Sam. It's got to have a hook.
I'll figure out. I'll get a hook. I'm in the very early days still, so
Yeah.
It's.
I think it's a good idea,
Yep.
and I think you should do it.
Okay. I'm gonna do it.
I think you should.
I think this is a real thing.
What style are you going to do? Are you going to do face to camera? Are you going to do voiceover? Are you going to do animation? What's the crack?
Face to camera.
Face to camera.
Face to camera. I want to be real with the people.
Face to camera is a good excuse. Here's a little inside peek in my process. Face to camera is a good way to have to put less effort into graphics.
There you go.
Because people love looking at faces, even my stupid face. They're like, you can sit in front of a camera and you've got to have some graphics because no one wants to look at a face talk for like 10 minutes. But it does fill a lot of space where there are no graphics or something interesting. And I think it helps build a channel's personality, and I think it helps build a fan base. And I think it's easier. I think it's better than a bad slideshow. It's better than a good slideshow. It's probably not as good as like fancy ass animation.
No,
because
that's for sure. But
yeah, but that shit is crazy expensive and complicated.
And if you don't know how to do it, time extensive, and at the moment I'm in the early days. I haven't got loads of sort of disposable income to spend on it. Like this is going to be a
this set behind us. This set behind us that you can see here. Maybe people can see. Anyway, I'll describe it. That one's a bit more fancy.
Oh.
But this one is the Biographics, Geographics, Visual Politics set, which is 3 channels that are all filmed there. And people are like, it looks better. This camera is a Lumix G7, which I bought used for, I don't even remember. It was like 200 something euros, 300 euros with a lens.
Good deal.
The lights are like £40 because I bought them from a UK shop and swapped the plugs out because they were the cheapest ones I could find. They were like £40 each, so £80 worth of lights, $100 worth of lights.
Nice.
So we're in like what, 300-400 American for that set.
That's all right.
Teleprompter, $100. iPhone just clips into it, dude. Oh, microphone, Rode Plus, $60. You're into like a set.
Still kind of $800, like the whole thing. Like
that's true. That's like
that's not no money.
No, you're right.
That's not cheap.
It's not $800 though. It's like
600 minimum.
600, but for a set that I filmed
successful shows on.
3 successful shows on, and I don't feel any particular inclination to upgrade it.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, that's perfect. I think this is it. I need to get this first sort of set, the first set of cameras and lights and everything like that sorted, and then I can really crack on with it. Then I can really make it happen. So,
what schedule are you thinking of sticking to? If I don't know. I know this show is, we do facts, but also people ask me these questions all the time, and I wanted to share my thoughts, and having you in the medium of starting a YouTube channel is a pretty good way to share some thoughts I have on this. So what schedule are you thinking of doing?
2 or 3 times a week.
Nice, perfect schedule.
Yeah.
How long are you thinking of making the videos?
10 to 20 minutes.
Perfect length for videos.
Yeah,
there you 15. Go. I find 15 minutes that sweet spot. Yeah.
15 minutes, yeah? Is that
I feel like 10 to 15. You got to do over 10 minutes though, because...
Yeah, for the algorithm now.
No, for the ad money. If you
okay.
go over 10 minutes, then you can have mid-roll ads, which will double the amount of money you make,
nice.
Which is obviously good. And you just get over that 10-minute mark, which I don't always bother with. Like nowadays, the content's not always over 10 minutes, but that's fine.
That's all right.
Because it all shakes out in the end, but it's probably a good idea.
Obviously now they put ads at the end of videos as well.
I don't even know. I got the YouTube Premium, so I don't see any of the ads anymore. But you say I don't know. Whenever I'm going through, other than like when I'm launching a new channel, like Business Blaze, my new channel has no ads, just because I'm like, just grow. Then we'll switch on the ads. The money will be made later. Don't worry about it too much. But yeah, I just turn it on. It's like, they choose where the mid-roll ads go. They put ads in the beginning and ads at the end, right? Mm-hmm. You this is what you experience watching.
Yeah. For longer videos, yeah. So you normally get 2 ads at the beginning, 2 ads in the middle, 2 ads at the end.
This always seemed like a fair exchange to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I just eventually was like, I'll just pay, because it didn't feel like... Growing up on TV, whereas like you watch an hour-long program, you're getting 15, 20 minutes of ads. I'd always feel like that kind of sucks, but it is the exchange you make. Even though... You're paying in the UK for Sky, I guess what Americans call cable.
Cable, yeah.
You're paying what, £50 a month for Sky?
It's like an on-demand program sort of.
And you have to watch adverts.
Yeah, that's a bit cheeky.
What's up with that?
That's a bit cheeky.
That'd be like paying for YouTube Premium, and they're like, you still got to watch adverts.
However,
and guess what? A third of every video is going to be adverts.
However, back in the day on TV, you needed those 15 minutes because you couldn't pause things.
It, yeah.
So you needed to go to the toilet or get food or whatever it was you're doing.
Yeah. I remember like watching TV as a kid. I'd watch between like 9 and 10 before going to bed as an older kid, and obviously earlier as I was younger. And there'd be like 3 5-minute breaks, and I'd be like, all right, first one, like brush my teeth, get ready for bed. Second one, like get some glass of water or whatever, or maybe it's the other way around. I'd find things to do in those 3 breaks, because no one ever sitting through adverts.
Yeah, no, exactly. I
Who watches adverts? I said that the other day on, I don't know, some channel or something. Business Blaze, I guess. Who watches adverts? People are like, dude, where do you think your money comes from?
Literally
and I was like, yeah, good point.
Literally what you live on.
Yeah. And then I went into a Skillshare read. Shall we? You got anything you want to add about your YouTube channel? Tell me, when are you thinking about doing this? I know this podcast films so far ahead of time that It'll probably be a huge success by the time this episode goes out.
The honest truth is, I don't know. I need to kind of get everything together, and I need to write a little bit, and then I'll launch as soon as I possibly can. I'm not sure exactly about the logistics of physically doing it. So as I said, it's about getting a camera or like a set up and getting everything written and going forward from there. So I think it's got potential, and I hope the people think it has potential.
I wish I had some old gear to give you.
No, it's
because
all right.
I've got the thing is I've got the 3 sets and I've got the 3 cameras for the 3 sets.
That's fine. You don't.
And
I've just
I haven't upgraded anything for years. And then I had my old camera, but then I gave it to my wife to take pictures with.
Oh, nice.
And I can't really take it away from her.
Yeah, you know that camera I gifted you.
Yeah, exactly.
No, all good, mate, all good. But no, I'll figure it out. I'm looking on old Facebook Marketplace and trying to figure out.
Dude, that's where I found that
camera.
G7.
What was
Get
it?
that G7, the Lumix G7. I'll send you an email.
I'll have a look.
I'll do this. Lumix G7 is absolute golden camera, and the kit lens is like a crappy kit lens that comes with it.
Yeah,
but it looks good.
Looks all right. Yeah. As long as you got the right light. I need to get these lights.
You get these lights. These are cheap.
And then I'll probably set it up in my house or something like that, or I'll just. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's easy.
I'm not sure if the cat will jump up on it.
I filmed in my house for like 3 years.
Did you?
2 years. 2 years. Yeah, I mean it wasn't brilliant, but then I got an office. You've only known me when I was in this place, right?
Yeah.
Dude, my previous office was like the size of one of these sections.
Okay, yeah.
So, I don't know, it was like...
a bit more compact.
10, it was maybe... 10 meters by 10 meters can't possibly be that large because that's like 100 square meters. No. Because this whole place is like 130 or 120.
Yeah, so maybe 20 meters square.
It was small. Yeah. It's like the size of a large bedroom.
Okay.
I guess. Medium-sized bedroom.
I'd say, yeah. No, that's I don't know. It depends where you are in America. In America,
in America, everything's giant houses. Yeah. I was like talking about my apartment. I was like, yeah, I feel my apartment's pretty big, and it's a nice, comfortable place. And then it's like,
get to the States and
it's like, whoa, people. This bigger country.
I had a friend come from Canada to the UK, and I took them to St Albans. So anyone who's ever been to St Albans, the place has like famously narrow houses. They're usually about 3 or 4 meters wide. The houses, they're really, really tiny, like little terrace houses, and they just couldn't comprehend that people can live in such a small place.
Terrace houses are a bit weird.
They are strange. Yeah.
Like my parents now live in a terrace.
Do they?
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. That surprises me.
No, well, it's like, I don't know if it's technically called a terrace.
Is it like a quaint little
it's fancy.
Yeah. It's like a flint terrace or something.
No, it's modern. It's very modern.
Ooh.
But it's weird. It's still a weird concept because it's over like 4 floors. So you walk in, and then each is like, there's 3 rooms on each floor, 4 rooms on each floor, 3 rooms and a bathroom on each floor, over 4 floors. But it's like, when I go to stay, it'd be like I'd be staying in one of the guest rooms, which would either be on the 3rd or 4th floor. So it's like, I forgot my phone charger upstairs.
Gotta go up.
Yeah. And it's like my parents are now like in their 60s. Like, is this going to be awesome? When you're like, yeah. It's like, I guess that's why they moved there. They're like, we need some exercise. Let's talk about some facts. Good God, Simon, come on. I want to talk about the most Irish thing ever. 1875, in Dublin, whiskey has to be kept somewhere because we're in Ireland. Open up this Irish Times article just so we have something to look at. I've got the story in front of me. So there's this big old fire in this distillery, right? And or maybe just where they store the whiskey. Yeah, sorry, it's just a whiskey store. Okay. There's a fire. It leads to an explosion, and it blows open these casks, and all of this whiskey just starts absolutely flowing out into the street. And I mean, it's not like
in flames, or is it burning?
No. It's just flowing out there. The explosion blew up all the kegs or whatever, so they're flowing into the street. And I mean, it's not like a tidal wave of whiskey, but it's whiskey.
It's a steady stream,
2 feet wide, so just going down 6 inches deep, 400 meters down the street. So it's not like no one's going to drown. However,
you would bottle it.
Many people die.
Oh,
how?
Fumes, slipping.
No, they drank it. They drank it. They kept drinking it, and they died of alcohol poisoning.
I just drank too much.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were just like, I mean, it's 1875 in Ireland. It's
not particularly clean.
Well, it's, you know, not
Actually,
partic-
it's
life
alcohol.
is not particularly super good. So it'd be like, oh,
Let's have
cool.
fun.
Yeah. Just gonna drink. 13 people died of alcohol poisoning.
Jeez.
And bear in mind, this is, I mean, it's 400 meters long. It's 2 feet wide. It's 6 inches deep. It's not like a sea of whiskey.
No.
But 13 people just get out in the street
Just
and
go-
drink so much that they die.
Gulped it up.
At the time, a contemporary source describes them as being in a state of profound coma.
Oh.
And I was like, next time I go out drinking, you're like, I come back, it's not, I'm not drunk. I'm in a state of profound coma. Which I liked. Oh yeah, scroll down to the bit about, just zoom in on that.
Which bit?
Something about canine suicide. Further down. Zoom in so I can see. Oh wait, is this the end?
It's the end, yeah.
Oh no. This is definitely in here. Where did I read this? Scroll up. It wasn't in the top, was it? Oh, whatever. I'll try to recall it from memory, apparently. Oh no. Wait.
Is it this fun aside?
No, that's different.
Uh-huh.
Anyway, I think what happens is a dog drank it, and then the dog was so drunk he jumped out of a window and died.
No.
Yeah.
Well, alcohol does terrible things.
Terrible things. The dog was in a state of profound coma, and then profound death.
Oh no. God. I mean, in that situation, would you bottle it?
Of course.
Yeah. Free throwing Jamesons.
Yeah. I mean, I'd get really drunk. I mean, I don't think I'd
end up in a profound state.
Yeah,
of
I've
coma.
never had alcohol poisoning. So, and I mean, now as an adult, I'm not a poor Irishman living in 1875. If I wanted to go out and get all the whiskey that I could, you know, it's going to be more than I could possibly drink. So I'm not like, you know, I'm not particularly tempted to overdo it. So I imagine if it was flowing freely in the street, I wouldn't have a different, like, you must have been to, like, I don't know, brunches or, like, you know, hotels where they have, like, the, you know, meals and stuff where it's like there'll be free booze as well, or open bar.
Yeah, open bar.
Open bar,
Okay.
like at a wedding or something, and it's like, I'm not going to drink until I get alcohol poisoning.
But I am going to drink.
I am going to drink. I mean, and honestly, I probably don't get alcohol because I throw up.
Yeah. You know, I remember, like, as like a 17-year-old, we used to go to parties, and like kids used to, like, girls and boys used to get alcohol poisoning like all the time.
Yeah,
once a month.
I remember this.
Like,
really?
yeah, literally. Our school was wild, but
I think one of my friends got alcohol poisoning, or someone I knew. But it wasn't a common thing.
Like,
but we drank pretty heavily.
at every single party, there would always be someone in a state of
profound coma.
Exactly.
But not, were they hospitalized?
Like paralytic, go to hospital, kind of.
Wow.
Maybe I just hung around with a bad crowd. Who knows?
That's heavy drinking, though. I mean,
Yeah, proper drinking.
I feel like I got pretty wrecked at some occasions, but I was never hospitalized.
the danger of alco pops. You never know what you're drinking.
Alcohol
Pims,
pops
things
were
like that. That's,
alcohol pops were a mess at university.
yeah, I believe
Like,
it.
I don't know about you, but there was a stage where I think this was before they banned drink promotions. You know, so you used to be able to, like, buy one get one free.
Yeah. Okay.
So there was a thing. It wasn't like a Bacardi Breezer. It was like a cheap Bacardi Breezer. And There was a place called a nightclub in the town called Vodka Revolutions, which was such a dive. Now I think back and now I'm like, oh my god,
Did I really go there?
yeah.
Oh no.
And now I'm a man of class and sophistication. No, it was a laugh.
Now we shall meet at the Grange.
But you'd go there and it was called a strawpedo. So what you'd do is you'd put a straw in the top and they'd give you the goddamn straw and you'd fold it over you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Fold the straw over the top. Listen, kids, this is how you drink fast. You fold the straw over the top and then you just neck it. And the air goes back in through the straw to the bottle and it just absolutely empties into your stomach.
Straight down. Yeah. Straight down the gullet.
And it was buy one, get one free. It's a bit dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done a funnel?
I have done a funnel. Yeah. A funnel.
Incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
it goes down. It goes down.
It goes down.
Like, whoa.
I'm like, how can this work? Because, I mean, there's only so fast I can swallow. And then you're just like, yeah, load 2 beers in. I remember, like, I'd seen it in American movies. So I remember, I don't know, I must have been like 20, 21. It was after university. And I was still young. And I was like, I want to try this out. So I bought, like, hose. I bought a funnel, duct taped that guy on there. And I brought it to a friend's house party. And I was like, dude, you've seen this in movies as well, right? And he was like, yeah. How does it work? So we, like, cracked open 2 beers, poured it into the top. I feel like I'm explaining funnels, but I'm sure everyone listening knows how this works. But it blew my mind how you're just like 2 beers inside in like 3 to 5 seconds.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's gravity, I suppose. Like, whoa.
Yeah, but I would be like, how's this not in my lungs?
Yeah, no,
Weird,
it's
right?
funnels are dangerous when it comes to drinking. Did you ever do the one that the sambuca shot where you do sambuca and then you take the shot and then you have a like a napkin with a straw. You slam the shot down on top of the straw and you block basically all of the vapors are in there and from the straw you can basically suck a second shot out of the vapors that are left inside.
Is that true?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that works.
Yeah, because you can take a sambuca shot and then you can light the shot and it will still burn. There's still alcohol in there, and don't get me wrong, it's not nice. It's not like good alcohol, but you can do it. So you basically poke.
And do you feel more of a buzz off that?
Oh yeah, it's like doing a second shot. Yeah.
But there's only a little alcohol, so it just must be how fast it enters your system, right?
Well, it's pure alcohol vapor. So I'm
but I mean the alcohol's still really small, so it's got to be just about how fast that vapor gets in your system through your lungs, right?
Or through the bottom of your tongue or something like that. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, of course, through the bottom of your tongue,
through your lips and everything else.
Just for drugs. So yeah, that's how did we get here? We just like.
Whiskey.
Alcohol stories.
Whiskey.
Oh, right, yeah.
We fell down memory lane. That's what happened.
Oh, my God. Yeah, some stories. God. Yeah. Strawpedos. You want to talk about something? Oh, wait. There's a fun aside. Yeah, open up the fun aside.
Beer consumption.
It comes up every episode somehow. But I feel when I'm doing a podcast with an American, it's like, oh, they're not in Britain, they're not in America, they're just like in some generic international world. When I sit down with you, we're both so clearly British that I just assume people will be like, oh, of course, they are in Britain.
In the UK.
But we're not. We live in the Czech Republic, which we've talked about previously. This is beer consumption per, is it per head? Per capita in litres.
In litres.
Dude. I knew Czech Republic, the Czechs drink a lot of beer, and I love their beer. It's fantastic, and I drink a lot of beer myself. But I definitely don't drink this much. The top 10 countries for beer consumption in the world, bringing it up from number 5, Poland, 100 litres per person per year on average.
I wouldn't have had them down for beer drinking.
Dude, they got some good beers.
Yeah, no, I just wouldn't have had them down as main beer drinkers.
What would you have them down for? Like
vodka.
Yeah.
Like hard spirits.
Then Germany, 104, of course, they drink vodka. Beer. Austria, 106. Namibia.
Where did that come from?
Surprise entry.
Where did that come from? Whoa.
I want to go to can't even say it. Namibia. And try their beer scene.
Well, they're big boys in Namibia. They've got a good rugby team.
Oh, yeah. I know nothing about it.
Maybe
I couldn't even tell you where in Africa it is. I mean, I can tell you it's in Africa, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Dude, sometimes I'm like, they'll be like, no, it's next to Peru. I'll be like, oh my God, really?
I have to look this up.
It's got to be Africa. I'm sure, like, sat near. It's like in the pointy bit of Africa at the bottom, right?
Southern Africa. There you go. Next to Botswana.
Okay, cool. I was right. It's in the pointy bit of Africa at the bottom.
It is. No, you're right. Right down here.
Okay. Is that it? Okay. There we go.
Got it.
Okay, well, we could have just used that map. Anyway, Namibia, 108 litres. We should say that's, 220 pints a year on average. Actually, that's not that much.
On average?
Yeah, but then that's considering children.
Per person.
Per person.
Like
children,
population.
old people who don't drink, women. Czech Republic. What? Women drink less beer than men?
I suppose, yeah.
That's not a sexist comment. What?
How you added it on the end and went, ooh.
You said, because of your face. You were like, Simon, you can't say that. And I'm like, ooh.
Yes, I can.
Jesus. Czech Republic, coming in at number 1.
Yeah.
With way more, 143.3.
That is a full third more than Poland.
50%.
The number 5, yeah.
Well, it's basically 40% more than the number 2 entry.
Yes. No, you're right. Yeah.
Well, 30% more.
That's a
pretty
lot.
Wild.
Although it is true. Like if you go to the shop on a Friday after work, you will see people pile up 12 beers or something like that for their after work drink.
I went camping with. Do you know my friend Simon? I don't think you met him.
No, I've not met Simon. No.
His brother is a machine. We went camping, and it was him, his brother, and a couple of other friends, and we're hiking into the woods for like half an hour, and he's got, everyone's got, smallish bags, and I'm like, I'm efficient, so I've bought like whiskey because I don't want to carry beer.
Carry beer, yeah.
This dude is like just sitting there all night just drinking beers, and I'm like, dude, you carried all these beers in? And he's like, yeah, I recently discovered that I can drink 12 beers. And I'm like, and he said it like with such pride.
Is it worth it?
And then, I mean, it was the middle of winter. There was a meter and a half, so 5 foot of snow.
Free fridge.
And yeah, oh dude, we dug out, because we wanted a big fire. So we dug out like a big hole in the snow, and then we built, seats, or we carved seats out of the snow
like a
around
proper campsite.
Yeah, proper
nice.
Campsite. And then we like made a little fridge so we'd stick all our booze
great.
in there. We also bought meat and stuff. We just went to Macro, the big wholesaler, and just bought tons of meat to barbecue and stuff. And but he was saying with such pride, like he drinks these 12 beers, and then it's like he just falls asleep in a ditch.
Nice.
And he's just
classy.
his friends in the morning, or maybe it was his brother, is like, Nathan, why didn't you zip up your sleeping bags? And I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, dude, it's like -5.
But like I've figured out that living here, I've grown a tolerance to beer, because my brothers came over for my stag do, and we went out, and they live in London where beer is really expensive.
£5-6 a pint.
Exactly. And I think they've just taught themselves to get drunk really quickly. And so like it was like 3 pints, and they were absolutely like, my older brother's a bit of a machine. He's like half alcoholic. But my younger brother, who's 23 now, he literally was 2 or 3 beers in, and his eyes were split. Like his eyes were sort of going in different directions and everything. And I was like, mate, what's going on? Come on.
3 beers.
You're letting down the team.
Come on. You can do better.
I'm really crackling. Sorry, people.
Is it spiking on the...
It's spiking, but out of nowhere.
Is there a little red mark on the right, or is it okay?
No, it's all right. It's okay.
Then don't worry too much.
It's fine.
What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. The one thing I find living here is friends of mine or my family will come to visit and we'll go out for a beer. I'll absolutely destroy the first beer.
Mm-hmm.
And then but this isn't really a British thing. Like, I think people, they slowly sip on their beers. But like the first one, I'll always just be like, that'll be gone in like 10 minutes. But then the next one, I'm like, okay, and now I slow down.
I've drunk with you, and you're a tactical drinker. You seem to go in really fast, really strong. You go in, you drink 5 pints. Like
you've never seen.
3 pints.
The last time I drank.
Well, it's true. You drink classy ales and things like that. So
also, I don't think I've drunk 3 pints with you.
You have. You've definitely drunk 3 pints with me. Like I feel you go in really strong, and then you pull off at like 10 o'clock. You go last beer done.
Oh yeah. Otherwise,
whereas I for example would stretch it out into a longer session.
I'm pretty good at stopping. I think like there's that law of diminishing returns. Like the first beer is the absolute golden experience.
Yeah, pinnacle.
And then 2's good, 3's okay, 4's like, oof, let's just ease off now. Anyway, let's stop talking about getting drunk. I could really use a beer now.
It's what the people want.
I got a bottle of wine next door, but
lovely.
We should have a wine on the show someday.
We should do.
There are dead wasps inside every fig.
Every fig.
Every fig. Do you know this?
Well, I know because I know that.
How great is the name of this website? KnowledgeNuts.com.
I do think I know this.
Oh yeah,
I think I know
this. Seems like something you would know. You love your biology.
I think we've discussed this when I brought the subject about living animals in the the jungle, and because
you told me about the difference between jungle and rainforest.
No, hang on. So there is a particular. Is this every fig or a particular type of fig, especially for wasps? That lay their larvae inside the fig.
Wait, yeah, but open it up. I thought this was every fig.
Oh.
Hang on, because I didn't put it in my notes, but go on, zoom in.
Figs are sweet, chewy, healthy, and yes, they do contain the digestive remains of dead wasps.
Okay, so this implies that it is figs in general. And the picture is of a regular fig, but I think that's probably just a nice stock photo picture.
I'm not a fig expert, but it is a beautiful picture of a fig.
It's mutually beneficial to the fig and the wasp.
Perfect.
Which obviously,
what a relationship.
You've already said, the wasp goes in there. There's this little hole, and it lays some eggs, and then the little baby wasps, they tunnel out. However, you got a question on your mind? Go on.
Is there a dead wasp in there, or are they just young wasps?
Hold on. Yeah. So the big wasp, mummy wasp, goes in. her wings come off as she's going in this little hole.
Oh.
And then she dies in there. She doesn't come out. She stays in there. But don't worry, because I was like, whoa, this is kind of gross. You're eating a dead wasp. But you're not. The fig breaks down the dead wasp into like its enzyme parts, and it essentially eats the...
Oh, that's better.
It's kind of freaky though, right?
It's freaky. Like I think that any carnivorous plant is quite freaky. Venus flytrap.
This is technically carnivorous, right?
That's carnivorous. 100% carnivorous.
Wow.
There you go.
That's weird. Venus flytraps are cool.
They are. Figs are carnivorous, people. Things you didn't know.
Yeah. What? And also, you know why this is the case? Why this happens? Why the wasp goes in there? It's all about pollination.
Pollination, they have to, don't they?
Because figs are flowers. They're like a weird inverted flower. And all those weird things you see inside, they're like the parts of the flower. So you have like, what's it called? I remember in biology, like, isn't there an anther and a stigma?
Okay, I was going to say petals. Yeah.
Possibly petals. Wasn't what I was looking for, but petals as well. However, it's obviously the risk that the flower... Wait, hang on. Figs are inverted flowers. When the baby wasps are laid, the males make tunnels and die. The females then leave taking the pollen, and then they will... Oh, no, I'm sorry. The males die. The females leave. And then the wasps fly. If the wasps fly into a male flower, which I didn't even know was a thing...
Yeah.
I thought they had both parts. Because you got the bit in the center and then the anthers around the outside, no?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm just wondering now. I would have looked this up if I'd thought about it before.
Are they hermaphroditic?
Whatever. Does the male flower, if they go in there, they're like, it's a male flower. That sucks.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Finished.
Yeah. She'll bar around inside and then she dies.
Bite your way out.
It's pretty sad. It's a bit uncomfortable. Like, I like figs, and now I know that they're eating dead wasps. I don't like wasps at all.
Do you know?
Dude, who likes wasps? Wasps are like level 99 shit. Which how make a case for wasps, Sam?
They pollinate figs.
Okay, yeah, good point.
There you go.
I remember figs. I have two memories of figs. One, enjoying eating figs, and there was a big fig tree at school, and we'd have fig wars. So it'd be like, yeah, it's like 13 years old.
Nice.
You'd pick the little hard figs and absolutely belt them out of the kids. And then they'd pick the hard little figs and they'd belt them back at you.
Nice.
So there's this one part of school where you'd walk from like the top of the school to the bottom of the school, and there's this one narrow staircase. And you'd always be like, oh, is there someone waiting with some figs? Am I going to get belted with figs?
Walk around the corner, fig to the face,
yeah.
Fig to the face.
You would. You didn't want to get it to the face. They are hard like little rocks.
Yeah, I bet you guys were regular at school. I bet the toilets were used regularly if there was a fig tree.
Nah, because the problem is that we'd pick them when they were hard. So they'd never get ripe and we'd enjoy them. We'd always pick them while they were in little hard little figs, so you couldn't eat them. You just throw them at other kids. Nice. Which, I mean... is like shows the lack of foresight that kids have, because you'd be at school and be like, oh, I'm hungry. I'm so hungry I can really eat a fig. But you've picked them all, but just throwing them at the other kids that are in the air.
I'm going to be honest, I think you're the only person I've ever met that as a child would have said, I really want a fig right now. I think the first time I really properly ate a fig.
Didn't we talk about this on the podcast before, how like hungry we got as kids?
Yes, but I think...
But you're not hungry for fruit.
Not for fruit, or at least not a fig. I think a fig is like it's a mature adults kind of food. Like you eat a fig with cheese.
That's true. God, that is a bit weird, isn't it, I guess?
Do you know?
Another one we had was we'd have orange eating competitions.
Nice.
So we'd take as many oranges from the school canteen as we possibly could, like 8 or 9. And then we'd see how many we could eat.
Jeez. Oh. Did anyone have go into a coma? Have a...
No, it was always just like we'd
diabetic sugar overdose.
It was more just about how many you could steal from the school canteen was the bigger challenge, because you'd have 2 in your pockets of the blazer and then 2 on the outside, shoved in your trouser pockets as well, throw some in your bag.
Did you have good food at school?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was good, yeah. Because I was definitely stepped up. I remember, because I'm of the age where the turkey twizzlers did exist, but then Jamie Oliver came along and no more. And so it was kind of slightly better food, I think.
We had some we had the weird processed meat stuff, like the turkey twizzlers, I guess. That's like processed meat.
Yeah.
We had one of my... the funniest things I remember, when you're not supposed to laugh at something at school, but you end up when you get in trouble. I remember when I was 18, so it's the final year of school, and we had prefects, who were...
I was a prefect.
Cool. So I was a prefect, and we have the prefects meeting, and one of the advantages of the last 2 years of school, so when you were 16 to 18, instead of like going and waiting in the queue and getting your food from like the canteen, it would be like a buffet. So you could just go and help yourself, and the food would be out there, and they weren't like, oh, you can just have one slice of pizza. It was just like, here's a pizza, help yourself.
Where did you go to school? That is magical.
In Kent, it was pretty good.
Yeah,
and
sounds it.
but like on some days, because on Friday there'd be like fish and chips, so you got like full fish, chips, and pizza days was Thursday, so you got like full pizzas, and people were just eating like competitively. And I remember like
obesity was a huge problem at school.
They were like, they had a meeting with us. They were like, we're gonna have to take away your buffet lunches if you keep eating as much as you're eating. And you have to queue with the rest of the kids. And I was like, wow.
Jeez. I'll slow down, I promise.
Yeah, we did. We had to slow down. But it was pretty funny.
God.
It was like one of those moments where we just kept on laughing.
I would have, as a kid...
We smashed that buffet every lunch. Every lunch.
Like, as a kid, I'm not as active as I was as a kid now. Not only was I growing then,
but
I was playing sports 6 times a week or something. So I was starving the whole time.
Yeah.
Just
absolutely. And then there was the salad bar as well. You just absolutely. They had this coronation chicken, which was soup. I just smashing it every lunch.
Do you know what I used to be able to do, and I couldn't do it anymore?
What?
Is eat a 32 pack of Jaffa cakes. I used to just sit down with like I probably could do it, but
it's a lot of Jaffa cakes.
I'd feel bad about it now. I didn't feel bad as a kid.
Used to eat like half a pint of ice cream.
I used to
a
drink
pint of ice cream, 500 mils.
Yeah,
easily smash that.
Each day, my mum used to buy 9 pints of milk because we would.
Oh, how you have like 17 brothers?
Well,
though.
no, I got 3 brothers, but there was only 3 of us at the time.
4 grown boys.
That was it, and
calcium for the bones.
And we would just each day, I think each of us would drink about 3 pints of milk.
Good lord.
Yeah, a lot of milk.
You drank milk just straight milk.
Oh, straight from the
never
bottle.
drank milk, really.
Did you know? I love milk. To this day, it's one of my favorite drinks. Me too. But
yeah, smash that as well.
It's expensive stuff. Expensive stuff. Orange juice. Like, it's not until you start buying it yourself that you go, I shouldn't drink that much orange juice.
Well, it depends if it's good orange juice or not.
Yeah.
I mean, good orange juice. What?
Bits or smooth?
Dude, that Tropicana stuff. Oh. That is expensive though. That used to be like
£3.
Yeah.
Yeah, £3.50, something like that.
Oof, that is a lot.
It's a lot. Like but it's pure juice.
I don't buy fancy juice.
Do you not?
No.
Are you a concentrate man?
I don't even really drink juice, but it's mostly a health thing.
Yeah.
But I really struggle to buy expensive juice.
It's one thing I would spend my money on.
Huh.
I love juice. So
I do love juice.
Tropicana.
Yeah.
Innocent smoothies. Oh.
Yeah. It's pretty good. It's terrible for you though.
Is it?
Yeah, dude. It's like liquid.
It's liquid sugar, but it's fruit.
You suffer from the same thing that people of our generation suffer, which is the British government told you that it was one of your 5 a day. Absolutely true when we're talking about like vitamins and minerals and stuff. But you're also like consuming most of your sugar requirements for the day.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's just in liquid form. And it's like, oh, but it's different to Coke because it's like natural sugars. It's like, you think your liver knows a difference? Liver doesn't know.
True.
Liver doesn't know.
Hadn't thought of it that way. True.
This is so good. I got stories about this one. Audi had to make a special horn for the Indian market.
Mm-hmm.
You want to bring up that Jalopnik article?
Yeah.
Jalopnik, I follow a lot of guys who do car YouTube channels because, I don't know, I find an enjoyment in it. I don't even have like a fancy car. I just like watching people with their cars or like even the more simple ones, like the guys who review regular cars and talk about cars. And then there's a guy called Hoovy's Garage, which is golden, and he just buys the cheapest version of some car. So he bought the cheapest Rolls Royce the cheapest Rolls Royce Phantom, I think, in the US. It cost him like $80,000.
Wow.
But it's like, yeah, and it's like 10 years old. But he's like, this is like the same price as a low-end Mercedes S-Class, and it's a Rolls Royce.
You can turn up in style.
Yeah, it's really cool. And he talks about it, and it always breaks down because it's a 10 years old Rolls Royce. It's fun. I love all this stuff. But I think some of these guys are right for this Jalopnik, but I'd never been to the website. And they had this great article about India. You've been to India. We talked about India.
I love India.
Dude, the horn situation is like non-stop though.
Yeah, but it's a language.
Yeah.
Horns in Asia are a language.
It's used for everything.
Yeah.
I'm turning left. I'm here. Out, I'm here. Yeah.
Leaving, going by, behind you, in front of you.
I think I talked to you before. I lived in Sri Lanka for a year. Yeah. Went back there, rented a car to drive, which...
madman.
Right. But I was like, oh, we're fine. I'll get the full insurance. And it's like a nice thing. I'd like to do it. I mean, you're not going to get involved in some sort of deadly high-speed crash because you just don't go that high speed.
Yeah.
I guess a bus could destroy you, but my experience with the buses in Sri Lanka is like they were the drivers who were most alert and aware because, you know, they don't want to die and they're driving all the time. But it was fine. But the horn thing is like, I just got used to it. You're just like bashing that horn at every opportunity. And the other thing is like, you think it's more dangerous. And it is, because obviously you can look at the statistics and everyone's dying in car crashes still. Or like lots, you know, it's way higher than in Europe.
Yeah.
But there's also, I guess, older cars, safety issues. Anyway, but it's like, just because you're paying attention all the time, you like pull up to a junction and it's like, here, I'll be like pulling up to a junction. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to load like a new Spotify playlist while I'm on the phone and texting. And, you know, a couple of beers in. And no, I'm kidding. But, you know, you might be tuning the radio or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, whatever the modern equivalent of that. It's
whatever
like
you're doing,
choosing, like skipping a Spotify track.
Music,
Or like telling Waze that there's a policeman.
Pretending like you're not changing your music.
Yeah, but
texting with beers inside of you. All right.
But there, you can't. Because you're just like, all the time, 2 hands on the wheel, head on a damn swivel, all the time, because otherwise you are going to have a crash. Yeah. But everyone's the same. No one's texting and driving, because then they would be dead.
Well, this is actually, I've got a theory about this. So like in India, I think there's actually really good drivers in India. It's just there's no
rules of the
rules.
road. Yeah,
there's no
mess.
rules. Like everyone drives but completely on their own, and so you see some of the maneuvers that the people do are incredible. Like they'll get their car around this incredible bend and dodge through 7 other cars, but it's necessity. It's like you have to do it.
It's pretty wild. Anyway, back to this thing. They tested their horns, right? And they basically found, like, from use in India compared to Europe, you know, Audi is a German car manufacturer, the horns that they installed in the European cars would last about 2 weeks in the Indian market. Just
really?
Because, well, think about it. How often do you use your horn?
Very rare.
Once a month?
Yeah.
If you drive a lot?
Yeah. Nah, I don't remember the last time I used my horn, actually. Other than saying, bye, bye, bye.
Can't remember the last time I did use my horn not so long ago. Oh yeah, I was in a car park and someone was backing out and didn't see me.
Okay.
But it's not like a you've been a bad driver. It's just like, here I am.
Yep.
It was just a boop boop. Don't, please stop reversing or you're going to crash into me.
It was an Indian signal.
Yeah, it was like, I'm here. Not being a dick. You're doing a good job. Just please look in your rearview mirror. Anyway, so yeah, they had to get like a special horn and it's just more durable for the Indian market.
There's nothing sadder than a horn that's dying.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
Open up that fun extra fact about VW. Oh, you don't really have to. I can just tell you what it is if you like.
Go for it.
VW makes sausages.
What?
Yep. VW branded sausages. They're mostly for internal use. They like use them in their canteens.
Okay.
But sometimes, apparently, if you buy a car, like maybe in Germany or Austria, maybe it was, it doesn't matter. But there's a picture of them here. The Volkswagen original sausage. They'll give you a pack of sausages just as a nice little fun thing.
It's quite nice, isn't it?
I'm like, that's kind of weird.
Are they a Frankfurter type sausage, or are they like a...
looks like a Frankfurter.
Does look like a Frankfurter.
Looks like a Frankfurter, whatever the... Yeah, it must be. Looks like that's definitely
a Frankfurter. Is it like a... What is a Frankfurter? Is it like
sure.
mush?
Like
is it like leftover
stuff, right?
Crap? Or is it...
It's from pork, right?
I think so, yeah.
Pretty sure.
Pork sausages. Maybe pork and chicken with a bit of beef.
I thought it's where, like, you know, once you've butchered a pig or whatever and there's all the, like, bits of stuff left on the bone, they high pressure wash it, right? So they... I don't know. This is just what I heard as a kid. And then they take all that stuff, they drain out all the water, and then they process that, like, leftover tiny bits of meat, and they make sausages out of it.
Because I imagine there's, like, different quality of Frankfurter sausage, like
yes.
like hot dog sausage. I imagine you can get high quality, high meat level sausage, and you can get really
weird
nothing paper.
It's like this one's made entirely of anus.
Yes. Anus.
It's the lowest quality piece of meat, the anus meat. You know what's fun though? They sell more of these than they sell cars.
No.
Yeah. Because it's just
unit price, like units.
Per unit. 7 million a year, technically more cars.
Speaking of anus, did I tell you when I was in Bali?
Oh my!
When I was in Bali, I tasted the cat poo coffee. The
Kopi Luwak.
Yeah, Kopi Luwak.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
Actually, all right. Yeah, it was okay. It was better than the crappy coffee that they gave us to measure it against, which I think it was just a specifically bad coffee.
Yeah.
So they were trying to
sell it to you.
Yeah. It was like coffee that had been sat out for 10 hours or something like that. But no, interesting. It was really good. Recommend it to anyone.
Cool.
Like the experience.
Yeah, I think I talked about it before. I had it, and it's okay.
Yeah,
it's coffee. I'm not a fussy coffee person. I like a Starbucks. I'm simple. Like just a black Starbucks coffee. What?
That's awful.
Why?
Because Starbucks coffee is terrible.
It's not terrible. It's pretty good.
It's awful, mate.
Why?
Like, if you said Costa, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. Good choice.
Yeah, Costa's okay.
Costa's got so much more flavour, aroma, like oomph. It's just got oomph.
Oh, yeah,
Americans don't have Costa, do they?
Don't know. I like Starbucks. Everyone likes Starbucks. It's like the most popular coffee house in the world. There's something to it.
I'm a bit
People
of
are
like
like,
Starbucks coffee
Starbucks,
bitch.
I don't like it. But it's like, obviously they're doing something incredibly correct.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think the coffee tastes pretty good. Anyway, I don't think I had anything to add on that. And I think it's about time that we wrap this up. And dude, I so hope that by next week, my boiler will be installed. The man came, he was like, it's a bit broken, isn't it? And I was like, yes. And then he was like, okay, well, I'll send you a quote. And he sends me a quote and I'm like, dude, you could have quoted me the price of a house. And I would be like, no. I'd be like, that's a little steep. But then he was sick.
But I'm ready to bargain.
Maybe coronavirus. Dear listeners, this has been the Simon Whistler Show. I appreciate you all tuning in for probably 99.9% less coronavirus talk than you get on other media outlets. If you are enjoying this show, please leave us a review. If you're not enjoying this show, please don't, because that'll bring our average down. Like this video, dislike this video. That's all engagement, so I don't really mind about that. Subscribe to this channel. If you've got an interesting story that you'd like us to cover. Dude, did we do like 3 stories this episode?
Yeah.
We used to do like 5.
We did. Yeah.
And then we started bantering a little bit more. Let us know how we're doing. Do you like it? Do you like it, listener? Where we do more stories, more punchy, or do you like it where we do less stories, but with a little more banter about throwing figs at each other and alcopops?
I know which one I'd listen to.
What would you listen to?
But I want to know what the people want to know.
Okay, don't bias it.
I'm not going to bias it.
I'm not going to bias it either.
Yeah.
I have a feeling we can poll it. There's cool polls on YouTube.
Cool.
Yes. I'm at Simon Whistler on Twitter, which is the best place to suggest a story. If you'd like me to cover a story, you can jump on over to Twitter. Sam, where can people find you on Twitter?
They can find me at This Is Sam Myers on both Twitter and Instagram.
Ooh,
there you go.
This is MEYERS.
MEYERS.
Yeah.
This is Sam Myers.
A joy, as always, Sam.
Always.
We'll be back real soon. Thank you, everybody, for listening.
Thank you, everybody.